So with that said, I wanted to talk about something that I've often struggled with, and that's the power of no. Now, I'm sure we've talked about this in the past. I'm sure we've, discussed how no is powerful and learning to say no is so important. But I don't think it's ever too late to revisit that topic, because what I find is, as a woman, no is essentially that much more of a difficult word when you place expectations, right? But I think regardless of what your gender assignment is, woman or man or in between, I think that no is important for you to assert yourself, to build your backbone, to stand up straight. Listen, no requires no explanation. It just is what it is. A lot of times people who are comical about religion will tell you that their favorite Bible verse is Jesus wept, because it's the shortest one. Well, my favorite thing, and the favorite thing often of most infants to say, is no. No explanation needed, just because they don't feel like it, right? So, why is saying no important? Well, it's found that if you don't say no, other people's priorities will take precedent over yours. And that's a bad precedent to set. Once you teach people that their priorities will always take place over yours, the expectation will always be there. And that's something that you'll always have to work against. Mere acquaintances, people we barely know, will crowd out time with family and close friends, right? So, if you don't say no, you might think, well, we will not have time, the time that I need for rest and recovery. If I don't say no, I'll end up frustrated and stressed. If I don't say no, I won't be able to say yes to the really important things, right? Well, out of guilt and out of fear of confrontation, sometimes we take on more than we probably should. In the process of taking on more, we dissipate from our own valuable resources. We take away our time, our energy, money, things that are important to us. Each time we go against ourselves and say yes to something that we want to say no to, each time we agree to something without enthusiasm or without interest, we waste a little bit more of our time. And if there's one thing we've learned in the past couple months, it's how important time is. Now let's turn that around. Every time we say no to something that is not important, we are saying yes to something that is. Our work, our relationships, our resources, our margin, our peace, our energy, our time. How often are you saying no? How often are you choosing yourself? Now, for many of us, it may feel like there are no benefits to saying no. But honestly, the power to be more in control over your life, there's no greater benefit than that. The confidence that you build when you say no more often. Now, listen, saying no the first time is probably going to be the hardest. But after that, it's just like any other muscle you build. You keep flexing that muscle and it'll get strong. The safety of overextending yourself. Opportunities that you didn't even know were out there. Saying no means you've just kind of bought some time into your own bravery. It means that you know what you want. It means you're standing your ground. It's healthy and it's beneficial. Even at work, sometimes you got to build up the gumption to tell people no. Allowing yourself to be honest and saying no lets people know that you could be trusted. It empowers you. Many people are often forced into participating in events or projects or things that they're not even capable of doing at work, all because they can't say no. Listen, you got to leave room to focus your priorities. And you got to give other people a chance to cape up too. You know, I experienced that the first time at work where I just simply said, I don't have the answer. And no, I cannot answer that right now. Is it all right if I take some time to think about it? And it was the first time that I had actually felt, I don't know, the bravery to do that in my new job. And I was so taken aback by the response by my boss. Not only did he praise me for taking the chance and the time to create space between my answer and my reaction, but he also encouraged the other employees to do the same. Listen, anybody that you say no to who feels like, fuck you, well, fuck them. Listen, you learn a lot from people in two situations, when they get what they want and when they don't get what they want. So if somebody walks away from you just because you said no, they shouldn't have been there in the first place. Listen, I love you so much for listening, and flex that no muscle this week, all right? Same time, same place next week. God willing, and the creek don't rise. Saying a mouthful. And remember, if you're not at the table, you're on the menu. Peace.